So, my inner child keeps replaying another fucking memory that I fucking have. And so I'm gonna just get it out. So, when I was younger, I would like run into these people who would have like really strong like personalities, which that was made to be like a bad thing or whatever. But they just had a really strong sense of self. And I admired that about them. And so, on some level, I might even try to like imitate that because people left them alone because they knew who they were and they didn't take shit from nobody. And I always wanted to be that person, that doesn't take shit from people and just let people do whatever because, I had done that for a long time. So, I would kind of like start to kind of like imitate that a little bit. And like normal fucking people, when you hang around people a lot, sometimes you pick up some of their vocabulary too. And so, like, one of my friends, she was from New York, and she was older than me. And it's funny because I was just like, she is. So, yeah, I thought she was cool. And, she really didn't take shit, and she didn't care who the fuck thought anything about it. She just really knew herself. And I was just like, wow, that's really cool. So, I started picking up some of the lingo that she would use, as we do when we're kids. And then, like, my mom was just like, where did you even learn that? You don't even sound like yourself. And I just kind of like was just like, okay, here we go. And yeah, she's like, I don't like that you're talking like that, or whatever the case was. And I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. And then I had another friend who I actually had come over my house, which is a very, very rare thing. Um, but I had another friend, and she came over, and my mom was just like, oh, I don't like her. Because she also had a very strong sense of self, too. And, she was a very curvy girl, even for like us being in middle school. And like perfectly so. Me, I was a beanpole. Well, not a beanpole because I wasn't that tall. I was just a skinny mini. I guess that's what they called it. But that was it. I ain't had nothing at this time anyway. And so I was just like, I loved her to death because she was always so like upbeat, so light hearted, and just like sunshine. And my mom was just like, oh yeah, she seems to like a lot of attention put on her. She seems to like take control of, the environment and just draw the attention to her. She was just a naturally attractive, not necessarily like, I mean, she was in that way too from like my middle school perspective, but like, the universally attractive, like things would just come towards her. Like everything loved her. And, my mom would say like snide comments like that. So then I never let that friend come back around. But I was just like, because, I didn't want my friend to like feel some type of way or hear anything about it. And plus, I'd never hear the end of it. And it was unfortunate because it seemed like the only people I was allowed to hang out with was anybody else who had like some kind of insecurity or whatever. If they were secure in themselves as kids, then it would be an issue, which was sad because that friend was actually a really good friend. Even if I didn't vibe with her on the same level that I did the one that I called my twin, but like she was still a really good friend and a really like she was a sweetheart. She really was. And yeah, she was comfortable in herself. So of course she took the foreground. Anybody who's comfortable in themselves will draw people in. Like that's just fucking natural. And yeah, me, I was never that person. So I was always in the background and, That's where I thought I was content being, till I fucking learned that I had the foreground beaten out of me. So yeah, that's some fucking shit that I remembered. And it was so annoying being scrutinized like that, because it was just like, I'm never allowed to change. I'm never allowed to be somebody else ever. And the thing is I didn't necessarily need to be them, but I wanted to be somebody as secure as them. And every time I got on my way to like trying to be that person, it was like beaten out of me or threatened out of me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Well, not anymore. I'm a fucking adult now. And we getting past these motherfucking traumas. But anyways, that's the end of that one.